Time now for your forewarned weather with Cedric Haynes.
Oh,
yeah,
you.
I know.
Okay, wait, yeah, go ahead.
No, it's okay.
Yeah. I was just telling Cedric that I was about to talk to him about
the snow.
Then I realized it's
so
you.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about? Because he's just ready to ski, so.
Yes, I see that.
No, I was just going to point out with the weather changing that we've been feeling, I saw some of the resorts up at the higher elevations like Brighton posted they got some snow.
Yeah, the second
no,
time.
it was a tiny bit. He was so excited. He was like, pull up the camera.
Oh, he's been talking about it all morning. He's been talking about it all morning.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, what's interesting is it actually snowed up that way last week as well, but he just didn't.
Okay, well, that was a little farther away.
That's okay.
These were like places I actually know.
You know what was funny?
That was
funny? Our director, James, had the snow image in the
and he changed it?
And I told him to change it last second because I didn't realize we were talking about it. And then you said, I'm going to talk to you about the snow instead.
I think.
Well, what do you want to say to him about it?
Talk about the tornadoes, though, right?
So
let's.
Which one? Pick one.
Exactly. Whatever you guys want to lead me into.
Let's talk about the tornadoes.
That's right. We'll talk about the tornadoes.
He did switch it.
And just to tell you, just switched.
Exactly.
We don't know what we.
At least he's keeping up with it. Hey, I do want to update you in case you missed it. The San Juan County tornadoes, of course, we had yesterday. It's a big deal because this tornado is officially rated an EF2 tornado. Now, keep in mind, we typically average when we see tornadoes in the Beehive State, and that's not very often. But when we normally do, we see EF0, EF1 tornadoes. Well, this was an EF2 tornado, but the more interesting thing about the tornado that we saw with these here were that they were on the ground for so long. Altogether, we had tornado warnings for about an hour and 20 minutes here across southeastern Utah. Again, this wasn't last Saturday. This was the Saturday before that on the 13th, but still very impressive conditions. Now, yesterday afternoon, we had some impressive conditions with some stormy skies. We had some downpours, some lightning, some flash flooding, and we even had a little bit of hail that was coming from some of the storms. This is a shot from Meg Roberts of some of the dark clouds going over Immigration Canyon. Now, as you can see, looking a little bare up there on Immigration Canyon right now, but yeah, you can see some of those dark clouds that were rolling through. We did get some decent rainfall out of some of those showers and storms. Spanish Fork picking up well over 1/4 inch of rain. Same story in South Jordan. Ogden picking up over 1/4 inch of rainfall. Notice in Provo picking up about 1/4 inch. That was enough to trigger that mudslide there in the Utah County area. And then, of course, the Salt Lake City Airport officially picking up over 1/10 inch of rainfall. Then this morning came, and we woke up to temperatures that were much cooler than where they were yesterday by some 10 to 15 degrees. We're still in some spots 5 to 15 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. So that fall-like air behind that fall front has made its way through. We'll call it pumpkin spice, pumpkin latte, or just hot chocolate with some whipped cream if you like that too, as we go throughout the day right now with this weather conditions out there. 60s pretty widespread until you get down to southern portions of the state where we have 80 degrees in St. George. Let me show you what's going on in the Wasatch Back though. Look at these temperatures. These are current temperatures right now. And you can see in Alta, only at 47 degrees right now. 55 degrees in Camas, 57 in Heber, 54 in Park City. So dare I say you may need a light sweatshirt or maybe at least a long sleeve shirt as you step out the door for lunch in the Wasatch Back. Now, as we look at the weather map, high pressure coming in from Canada, giving us that Canadian northerly flow, pulling in that Canadian air mass. It's also pushing the stormy weather off to our east into Colorado. So we'll call that northerly flow with the pleasant conditions today. But high pressure rebuilds across the region as we go into tomorrow. That's going to bring a warming trend to those temperatures again. We're going to jump back above average, not by a ton, but we will be above average again across the state with that high pressure ridge rebuilding across the area for the rest of the week. And then we're going to keep an eye on a low pressure that's going to move into the west coast. Depending on how this plays out, it's going to try to bring in some moisture starting across southwest Utah as we get towards the end of the work week. Let's time it all out for you with Futurecast here. As you can see, again, looking pretty quiet for now and all the way through the rest of this afternoon with high pressure, the big blue H, in charge, bringing us plenty of sunshine. Pleasant conditions today, but notice tomorrow the red lines show up. That means the winds switch out of the south, and that's going to pump in the warmer temperatures across the region. And that'll stick with us Thursday with that sunshine. But notice in southwest Utah, we bring in some clouds and some moisture. So we'll see how that plays out. For the rest of today along the Wasatch Front, we'll call it sunshine with below average temperatures again. Get outside. Please enjoy the pleasant weather today. Southwest Utah, I wished I had more pleasant weather. You will have the sunshine. You will not have the cool temperatures. It will be very warm with temperatures climbing into the lower 90s. In fact, I'd get us into the mid-90s on Wednesday in St. George before we start to see some of that moisture and then slightly cooler temperatures thanks to the clouds. And again, isolated storm chances each day, not a big washout. The Wasatch Front will be in the mid-70s. One more day of below average temperatures before the 80s return for the rest of the week with sunshine. And we stay in the 80s into the weekend. Alyssa?